Anybody else who'd like to speak? Okay, seeing no one, I'll close the public comment, and then we'll move on to reports, and we're going to start with a report on the 2017 budget. Mr. Shield.
Thank you, Mayor. This evening, what I want to do is provide the council with an update since the introduction of the municipal budget on the 27th of February. As we indicated, the budget that was introduced, we're continuing to work on that budget and doing our due diligence. As part of that process, we work with the Finance Subcommittee and staff to look at a number of structural changes within the organization that could produce some cost savings. There are two that I want to report on this evening that we've looked at and we're looking to move forward. One being the reorganization of the health department with the assistant administrator also being a health officer. We can eliminate the need for having a health officer in the health department and reorganize it so the health department will report directly to administration under the assistant administrator. In addition, and then increase some hours for our contractual public health nurse. We believe that will allow us to continue to provide the excellent services that we have and at the same time create some savings. Current estimate that's about $7,000 in savings there. The other area that we reviewed is within the police department. As part of the strategic plan for the police department, they're looking at providing more civilian services within the police department. One of the concepts that we would like to review, and I'm looking for council's consensus on this, we reviewed with the subcommittee the concept of doing a managed service agreement for our dispatch or 911 telecommunications center. Under this proposal, we would have a firm come in. They would provide 911 and dispatch services in our facilities. They would manage it. They would deploy the personnel there. We believe that the savings would be about 10% of our existing costs, which is roughly $900,000 a year. But in order to really determine whether that process would work, it is necessary for us to go out for an RFP or a competitive contract to determine the actual cost. And what I would like to do is get a consensus from council to at least move ahead to explore that possibility to see whether we can move forward with that this evening. And as I said before, we continue to look at this budget, and I foresee maybe some more of these adjustments as we see here. In addition to that, in going through the financials for this year, we realized that we made a projection last year that surplus would be minimal. We've at the close of books, it was determined that we had generated more surplus than we anticipated. As a result, I'm making, at least at this point, two recommendations. One, we added $130,000 for consulting services. It's a one-time expense. That is a good opportunity with the additional surplus that we have to use that $130,000. That way we'll reduce the amount. We won't have to raise that amount in taxes. In addition, last year we did a surplus reduction analysis and projection. We were anticipating that we will not create as much surplus this year. As a result, in this year's budget, the surplus used in the budget was reduced by $100,000. Based on the actuals and the increase, I would also recommend that we increase that $100,000, which will again relieve taxes another $100,000. And as I said, we'll continue to work through this process. Our budget has been reviewed by the Department of Community Affairs. There are just some technical changes, so we're ready to move forward in terms of any the public hearing on the 27th. And at that time, we will have some amendments just based on the two items that I brought here. We may have to have a public hearing there, but also advertise and have another public hearing to pass the budget in early April. But as I said before, we're really taking a hard look at this budget and continue to create areas where we can create some savings.
Okay, thank you. Before we start the discussion, I just wanted to focus in on the question of the dispatch and whether there was consensus to move ahead with exploring.
Would it help if I just reported briefly on the public safety discussions? I think just to, and this also came up in the Finance Committee, and just to note that as administrator said, the strategic plan all along has said we should be considering ways to civilianize services, because that allows us to have officers on the streets and civilianizing positions saves the budget money. And, you know, it's appropriate we're having this conversation, obviously, right after hearing from members of the community who are struggling with property taxes, and I'm glad that we've identified already several ways that we're finding money, finding savings. And so just to briefly summarize, the thinking behind the managed services agreement on the dispatch is a couple things. One, that you would have manage savings both from a management and an operational perspective. We currently have a rigid structure of how we staff the dispatch, and if somebody's sick, we're paying overtime, so we've had significant overtime. We're actually down several people now, right? And so it's a very rigid staffing model that results in significant overtime. This managed services agreement would be more nimble, and we would know at the beginning of the year how much we would be paying. We wouldn't be incurring those overtime costs. We think there'd also be better opportunity for management. There would be more of a focus on customer service. And it would mean that we wouldn't have sworn officers involved in doing things like dealing with time management for the dispatchers. And it would also mean actually a better, I think, upgrading of our equipment, so that our equipment would be modernized. We also have talked to them, Jenny, I'll anticipate your question. It's possible we could get better, from a management perspective, better management of the data and reports on the calls coming in. So that's something we've talked about. So for all those reasons, I think tonight I think we're not making a decision. I think what we're recommending is that we pursue it. And for those reasons, the Public Safety Committee recommended that we at least pursue this option. Significant savings, better customer service, and better management and ability to control the budget.
Can I just add that we also receive over 100,000 calls they receive per year. So this isn't a light duty officer, over 100,000 calls that the dispatchers receive a year.
I think that in addition to what my colleagues have just mentioned, we're not breaking new ground by doing this. There are other municipalities in Mercer County who have already moved in this direction and have reaped the benefits that Ms. Howard described. So I think this is something that we owe it to our taxpayers to explore.
Would this involve a reduction in our own force, or will we have to lay people off? And two, are the current dispatchers unionized, and would the new dispatchers be unionized?
The current dispatchers are unionized. I don't believe the new dispatchers would be unionized. This would require a layoff. However, the managed service would allow any of our employees to make application. It's not a guarantee, but they will take your employees into their service.
Do we know about how many?
I mean,
How many in reduction?
I think we have to wait on
We-
that.
we
I mean,
would-
this is part of getting a
Okay.
proposal.
Okay.
Is it not?
Okay, yeah.
I'd like to know the answers.
Okay.
I've supported it when we looked at it in consolidation. I'm sorry we let 5 years go on.
Sure, that's okay.
Okay. It sounds like there's consensus then to move forward on that. And then were there any other questions or comments on the rest of the budget presentation? No? Okay.
Did you want any feedback on the idea of using some of the unanticipated surplus against the 130 for the, I mean, I think it's a good idea, and I think just knowing that, if I tell you one thing about the surplus, at least over 400,000 of it was a result of a payment from FEMA. And, you know, so we spent that money years ago, and you never know when FEMA's going to pay you back. It just shows up at your doorstep one day. And so it's completely unanticipated. You're not allowed to budget for it. Is that correct?
That is
So
correct.
it is kind of like found money, and by the same token, we can't rely on it either.
I'll just say I know as liaison to the Board of Health that we're very excited about the idea of being able to keep Jeff's expertise as health officer, but being able to save the taxpayers money while still increasing our public health nursing hours, that where we feel there's a real need, that we were very low on public health nursing compared to other municipalities. So this seems like a win-win from a protecting the public health and taxpayers' perspective.
Yeah, I also want to thank Mr. Shield and everyone else who has been continuing to work on the budget. I think there's some creative ideas here, and they're much needed, as we've heard. So thank you. Okay,